Hello everyone and welcome back to Senior Cat Wellness. In today's video, it's all about understanding not just the basics like food and the litter boxes, but the stuff that actually affects your daily life as a cat owner. That real commitment, the changes, what it's actually like living with a feline long term. We all love our cats. I love my cat, but there are certainly some things I wish I had known prior to the ownership journey. That's what it's all about today. And we're going to start things off with the fact that cats, they're not always that low maintenance. It's a bit of a myth. Yes, they don't really need walks like dogs, but they still certainly need a lot of attention, a lot of mental and physical stimulation, and daily and sort of routine and regular care. You can't just leave out some food in that litter box and buy a few little trinkets and baubles along the way and just expect that to be enough and essentially let the cat care for itself, right? Felines need playtime. They certainly get bored. They need something to keep them in the positive lane because if not, they'll resort to destruction, right? Because after all, they are animals. And next thing you know, your furniture's all messed up and your couch is all messed up. And unfortunately, you're probably thinking, hey, this cat needs to go. So they need to be cared for. And don't confuse low maintenance with no maintenance. Next up, let's talk about that litter box, and it matters a lot more than you probably think it does. It's not just a fill it up and walk out the door and fill it up and let's go and just ignore it until it's time to clean it again. You have to take care of it daily. To some degree, it's important to try to take care of it daily. You have to clean it up, not just clean it out, but there'll be times, usually once a month, where you probably need to clean it, as in clean it up with soap and water. Not in your kitchen, of course, with your dirty dishes, obviously, but you need to clean it more than just dumping that litter. If you don't, your cat could stop using it altogether, which introduces quite the obvious problem, right? And the placement. Where do you put that litter box? Put it in a loud area, a high traffic area. Don't stick it there right in the middle of everything next to your television or something. It needs to be in a private area, but very much accessible. Little world within the world for your cat to have. And if you got more than one cat, you're going to need as many litter boxes as you have felines. So make sure that's a priority because if you just bring the cat in and start the ownership journey without that and without thinking about the importance of the litter box, you're going to have your work cut out for you. Next up, let's talk about money, mainly in the way of vet bills. They can add up fast. If you thought your cat just needed some routine care here and a few shots here and there and they're good to go, that's not necessarily the case, especially if you are an advocate for those regular health checkups. But if your cat gets sick, those health issues, the dental concerns, cleanings, especially if your cat needs to be put under anesthesia, and of course, right there, that's sort of leaving out emergencies, those unexpected situations. Just one visit to the vet emergency can cost hundreds, if not more, depending on the situation. So, pet insurance, it does help, but it doesn't cover everything. So, you need to budget well in advance just to consider the basics and those unexpected times where your pet will need that vet care. Let's talk about your cat's general health in terms of their ability to mask and hide pain and hide illness and hide downright sickness. Unlike our canine friends, cats are very much the masters when it comes to hiding how they're truly feeling in the health department. This means that you have to pay close attention, extra attention to subtle changes in your cat's behavior. If they stop playing, stop wanting a cuddle session, hiding more, hiding in sort of odd areas of your home, lethargic, they've stopped eating and stopped drinking. By the time a cat can show real obvious and sort of blatant signs that they're ill, it could be very much too late in the process, if you will, because they mask it so well. By the time they really start to show it, fortunately, a long time has passed, and depending on the situation, that long time, well, I think you know the rest. It could be something very, very bad. So that's one thing you need to know prior to their journey. Just because your cat's not showing signs, just blatantly obvious signs that they're sick, pay close attention to those little things, because those little things could be sort of tipping their hand a bit and showing you that all is certainly not well. Next up, are you leaving? Are you leaving for the weekend? Are you leaving for 4 or 5 days? Need someone to, maybe a friend or a neighbor to check in, not just to give them food and water, but check in to make sure the litter box is clean and make sure they're okay and make sure they haven't sort of gone wild in the home. A pet sitter, whether it's a friend or a family member, or maybe somebody you have to pay. it is worth it in the long run to keep them healthy and keep your home safe. If you know for a fact you're going to be gone for more than, say, just a maybe 12-hour period, more than your average work day or school day. Next up, understanding your cat's personality. Not every cat is just sort of, independent, as the stereotype suggests. Not every cat is totally aloof, and not every cat really wants to be your cuddle buddy all the time. Some cats are more needy than others, more vocal. Some follow you all over the place, and some do not. Some cats are very independent. They don't like to be held. So get on your cat's level and understand their baseline. Not every cat is created equal in that regard. So understand not only what you have, so to speak, but who you have, and adjust your mindset in many ways to who they are and what they are. Get on their level. It makes that ownership journey a lot easier if you can really get down to the baseline of your cat, and I do mean your cat, not a cat, but your cat's personality. Next, hey, this whole adventure goes by quite fast. One day they're a kitten, and the next day you're here on Senior Cat Wellness looking for tips. Cats can live between 15 or 20 years in a good environment, a positive environment, which is wonderful. But that's in the big picture, it's not very long. So be mindful how quick it goes, but also be mindful of your cat's changes as they age, mobility concerns, perhaps medications they need, increased vet visits. This is if you're in it for the long haul, you're going to experience a lot of changes over the ownership journey. So be prepared not only for the short term, but the big picture. If you're just starting out, sure, it's important to address day one, but it's not too early to start, thinking about day 1,000, if you will, and how the journey is going to play out, and if you are, in fact, the right person to be taking that journey. And finally, understand that cats are creatures of habit. If you have other pets, if you move, if you change the routine in the home, your cat will definitely feel it, become stressed and anxious. What can be nothing to us, you move the coffee table 5 feet to the left, well, that could shake your whole cat's world depending on their living environment. So, sort of be mindful of your cat's feelings and their place in the home, because what you might consider nothing at all could be quite traumatic to them. So, anytime you have to make a change, especially if it's a change that's sort of out of your hands and out of your control, consider their feelings and how they're dealing with it, because the last thing you want is an anxious and uneasy cat sort of questioning their place in your home. So yeah, ultimately, big picture, don't fear, don't fear the feline ownership journey, but it's important to have some tools in the tool bag before entering this adventure. It can really help in the long run. There's a lot of wonderful things that can come from being a feline owner, but it's not completely effortless, as maybe some could make it seem. So if you're thinking about getting a cat, certainly take that plunge if you think you're ready, but make sure that you're ready for that big picture, not just that day one we talked about. It's a full-time job in many respects, and it's a wonderful journey, but it goes by quick, but it's still a long journey nonetheless. So make sure that you're prepared for sort of all possibilities, and make sure you're a sort of a person of all seasons when it comes to your responsibility in this journey. To the wonderful audience of Senior Cat Wellness, what are your thoughts and opinions? Do you wish, is there a few things you wish you had known in advance of your personal cat ownership journey? Is it just one thing, one glaring thing, or does your list of things read more like an extended stay at the grocery store, like a grocery list? That comment section, as always, it's all yours. And if you did enjoy today's content, please like this video, share it out, and subscribe to us right here at Senior Cat Wellness. Until next time, we'll talk to you later.